Tovis Page, and I am the temporary worship minister here, and I use she, her pronouns. So today, this morning, I want to tell you a story from the Sufi tradition of Islamic mysticism, and it's called The Journeying Stream. It goes like this. One day, a little stream from its course in the far-off mountains, passing through every kind and description of countryside, at last reached the sands of the desert. Just as it had crossed every other barrier on its long journey, the stream tried to cross this one, but found that as fast as it ran into the sand, its waters disappeared. Raise your hand if there's room next to you in a seat. Yes, come on in, please.
Lots of room in the choir.
You don't have to sing, but you're welcome to. Wonderful. A seat over here. Welcome, welcome. So anyway, the stream, is going on its path. It ran into a desert where it found that it could not go on because it would disappear into the sands. The stream was convinced that its destiny was to cross the desert, and yet there was no way. When suddenly, a hidden voice coming from the desert itself whispered, "The wind crosses the desert, and so can the stream." The stream objected that the wind could fly, and this was why it could cross the desert. The voice whispered in return, "By hurtling in your own accustomed way, you cannot get across. You will either disappear or become a marsh. You must allow the wind to carry you over to your destination." Let's wait and see what this says. Usually people would say, "Yes, God." So this story was from a long time ago, and the voice was from the desert, but these days maybe it comes from your cell phone. Who knows? You have to be open to the voices that you hear. So how could this happen, wondered the stream? By allowing yourself to be absorbed in the wind, said the voice from the desert. This idea was not acceptable to the stream. After all, it had never been absorbed before. It did not want to lose its individuality. And once having lost that, how was one to know that one's individual identity could ever be regained? The wind, said the sand, performs this function. It takes up water, carries it over the desert, and lets it fall again. "How can I know that this is true?" cried the stream. "It is so," replied the voice, "and if you do not believe it, you cannot become more than a quagmire, a swamp." The stream felt torn. "But can I not remain the same stream that I am today?" it asked. "You cannot in either case remain so," the whisper said. When the stream heard this, echoes began to arise in the thoughts of the stream. Dimly, it remembered a state in which it, or some part of it, had been held in the arms of the wind. And the stream raised its vapor into the welcoming arms of the wind, which gently and easily bore it upwards and along, letting it fall softly as rain once it reached the roof of a mountain, many, many miles away, where it then became a rushing, flowing, singing river onto the sea. Thank you for listening.